Excited to get back at it. Bye week came at a good time. Very physical game against Michigan. Good football team, a lot of good players. Excited about this week's opportunity against Ohio State. Obviously an excellent football team. One of the favorites to win the national championship. A lot of great players. Extremely well coached. Their tradition speaks for itself. So it's a big game for us because it's this game coming up. I mean, we treat them all alike. If there was a better way to prepare for a certain team, we'd do that for every team. So we have to stack moments, meetings, practices, and days to give ourselves the best chance to be successful on Saturday. I'm confident in our team that we'll prep well this week, play well, go in there, play with poise, and play our game. So excited about the opportunity.
Curt, if I could ask briefly, this is just the first time we've had a chance to talk to you since the contract was announced. Just
right.
From your perspective, what about kind of maybe not just the top line stuff that fans are going to see, but the assurances, the support, the structure, the added structure that the contract provides?
Well, I'd like to keep it to the game, but brief comment on that. The university's made a very significant financial commitment to football in a lot of areas, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity and to lead the program and continue to develop the program moving forward. I'm excited about our future. We've done a lot of good things. We've got a lot of people behind us, and this is where I wanted to be. I played the what-if game with my wife and my agent 4 weeks ago, and it all pointed to where I'm at right now. So I'm glad we have that behind us, and now we can focus on, what we should be focused on this time of year.
With Ohio State, their offense, I mean, you've made a habit of studying offenses, Ryan Day, Chip Kelly. What are the kind of the expectations from that group, and what have you seen on film from them kind of this season?
Yeah, very skilled at the skilled positions, and the offensive line's good. Obviously, everybody knows about the running backs, receivers, quarterback, tight ends. Chip Kelly has done a great job offensively everywhere he's been. They got, an excellent scheme. It puts defenses in conflict, and, they have it all. They really do.
Coach, you guys have been really healthy all year. You lost Drew Evans before Michigan, put Tyler Stevens in, a guy you know. What do you think of his performance and just the offensive line in general? It seemed like the second half might have been the first time they really kind of struggled all year. What were your thoughts on how they played?
Yeah. I thought Tyler did a good job. Proud of him going in and playing the way he did. Second half, we did not play well offensively. Aside from FIU, the last quarter and a half, that came, I give Michigan credit. They got a lot of good players on defense. They bowed up. We didn't make the plays we normally made when we had the opportunity to make them. And, there were too many pressures on the quarterback. We got behind the sticks and the chains and opened in the second half with an interception. Certainly didn't help things. Fortunately, our defense and special teams saved the day. But if you're going to win a championship teams find a way to win those kind of games. And that's the one thing about this team. This is a team. Everybody thinks alike. Everybody's focused on the same thing. And we've been fairly consistent from beginning to end. It's not always perfect. There's always improvements. But we certainly had some issues in the second half against Michigan. We've got to protect the quarterback better, and we've got to make the plays that we've been making all year long on a consistent basis.
Jim, then Jack for info.
Curt, talking about those issues, how important was it having the bye week when you did to be able to shore those issues up, and how confident are you that those have been taken care of?
Yeah, to me, what happened in the second half was more of an execution thing. And sometimes you get the momentum and you ride the wave. then sometimes you're struggling, and you just continue to struggle. So I think the off week came at a great time because it was a physical football game. We've played a number of games in a row, and it was good for everybody to catch a breather and get refreshed and recharged, and gave us a little extra time on the next opponent.
Jack in front of Zach Lee.
Yeah, I know when you were hired, you talked about no self-imposed limitations, but as the season has gone on, have you seen kind of the ceiling for what's possible to achieve at Indiana kind of expand, like as the wins have piled up?
Well, I mean, I think it's all out there. I think any P4 school with the proper commitment is capable of being successful and being ultimately successful. Because, really the difference between victory and defeat in most of these games is very slim, and it's all attainable. So we've put ourselves in a position right now to be talked about quite a bit. That's nice. It doesn't help us prepare, doesn't help us play any better. But, we've got some great opportunities ahead of us. And this is a team that's capable. And the only limitations on this football team would be those we put on ourselves between our ears. But this is a group of guys that do not think that way. And we're going to go in to this next game confident, believing, and we're going to go out there and we're going to play well.
Zach Lee on your right, and Daniel.
Coach, over the course of your career, has there been anything that you've learned and can take into a big road environment like Saturday that you're going to pass along to your team?
Well, I've been in a lot of those. I mean, I started this off at a young age. I was 23 full-time in Southwest Conference playing Texas A&M, out of conference LSU, been in those games. Last time I was in this particular stadium, I would have been NC State, triple overtime. We fell about 6 inches short at the goal line, and that was 2002, I think, 38-31, I believe. Had a good football team. They had a good football team. Phillip Rivers had a big day, and we came storming back and had an opportunity to win, but didn't get it done. We've had a number of nice road wins, obviously. I mean, look, we got a group of guys and coaches that have won 24 out of their last 25 games. So we don't have a confidence problem. I look at maybe one time at Elon, we had a really good football team. We're 4-1, had lost to an FBS team, went to JMU. They'd won about 25 in a row at home. Somehow we're 38-point underdogs. I have no idea how. And, we walked out of there with a win. So, it's a football game, one play at a time, got to execute. Whoever plays the best wins.
Daniel in second.
Yeah, on the notion that a team can almost adopt its head coach's, like the personality, I guess. Have you seen that happen here, you feel like?
I think we have a confident team that believes and takes care of business. They prep well, they're detailed, they play fairly consistently to a standard, not circumstances of the game, and that's what we preach. And I've heard that comment that they have, and I guess that's a good thing.
Seth and Pete.
I know you talked about the bye week in terms of being able to clean some things up from past games. So I guess health-wise, how big is it to get a bye week this late in the season to kind of get some guys some extra rest? And I know Miles Price went out in the Michigan game. I'm wondering if there's any update there.
Yeah. We'll be at full strength for the game. And in terms of the bye week, I think across college football, everybody's hurting a little bit at this point, right? Even when you're playing every play in the game, you've got something. So I think the bye week came at a really good time to kind of get refreshed and recharged.
Pete on your far left and Randy.
Curt, I'm kind of curious, offensively and defensively, your approach, how has it evolved? And are you, say, maybe more conservative, more aggressive, more creative? How would you kind of assess that?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. Offensively, I got out from under center around 2000, about my 5th year as a head coach at the Division II level. And I've definitely become more aggressive in attacking. I think as a young coach, sometimes in big games, I was a little conservative at times. And so we attack, you know, that's just what we do. And I think defensively, you know, we've always played good defense for the most part. And our schemes have evolved depending on who's running the defense. And I think Brian Haynes has done a tremendous job, you know, with our defense here. We're playing really good defense right now and have all season long. And but we attack there too. You know, we're normally in the top 5 in the country in TFLs, sacks against the run. You know, our guys may line up a little differently play to play, and we may have a few different looks than we did the year before, but we attack.
Ravi, your left and Joe.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask about your offensive line. They've been graded really well for most of the season, PFF and other people who do that. What is your thoughts on how well your line has played, and what are the keys to them playing as well as they have so far this season?
Yeah, I think those guys have really been very consistent all year long. And I think Coach Bostad, who's, you know, a proven offensive line coach, he's an outstanding offensive line coach, has done a great job developing those guys. And for the most part, it was 5 guys playing pretty much every snap until Drew Evans went down. Now Tyler Stevens in there. So those guys have played a lot of snaps. And they're all blue-collar guys, hard-working guys, smart, don't say much. Katie and Carter Smith probably talk the most. And, you know, they give you a good day's work every day.
Joe on your right, and Matt.
Coach, you mentioned how pretty much every team in the country is dealing with different dings, injuries. When it gets to this point in the season, what is the stress on the recovery outside of the facility to be fresh come game day?
Well, it's important that you get your rest, you eat right, and especially in an off week, you got a chance to catch up a little bit. So it's critically important because it all works together, what you do inside the building and outside the building.
Matt, on your left, and Niz.
Coach, obviously with a bye week, it's a chance for your staff to go out and do a little bit of recruiting. Just curious how the interaction, the communication with recruits, with coaches has changed as the season's gone along and you guys have gotten all the attention and had the success you have. Have you guys noticed the difference in how people are the reception you're getting?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you win, it opens a lot of doors in a lot of areas, and recruiting's no different. And so, you know, we have definitely reaped the rewards of being successful on the field. And, you know, it's an ongoing process. We've got a signing day coming up here in a couple weeks, and then the portal will hit in December. And but everything's on the up and up.
All right, Niz, last one.
You mentioned the defense and Brian Haynes, and you know, you pressured, I think, 60% of Michigan on their dropbacks. Have you noticed that, you know, I know it's a new defense, but I mean, the core of it's from JMU, and having that core and having Brian Haynes together has been able to unlock kind of this next level, that experience that they had all together has sort of been where, you know, you're bearing the fruits of that now?
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that whole JMU crew that came over really facilitated the culture change here, and they're all major contributors for the most part, you know, between the white lines. And on defense, you got some real key guys playing at a high level. And, you know, I think that familiarity with the program, the defense, the offense, the special teams has been extremely beneficial.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.